time to start. Would you bring us up, Nancy?
You are up, Commissioner.
All right, Bannock County Commissioners are now in session. We do have one amendment to our agenda. We will have a discussion on a forensic pathology for a minute.
Mr. Chair, I'd move that we approve the amended agenda as presented.
We have a motion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. So our first item on our agenda is Commissioners' invoices, Commissioners' report, and credit applications. Any questions? Just for two places for signatures.
Mr. Chair, I would move that we approve the invoices, commissioners' reports, and credit applications as presented.
Have a motion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Next, we have salary rate approval forms. I don't have any questions on them either.
Mr. Chair, I'd move that we approve the salary rate approval forms as presented.
We have a motion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, looks like we'll go right into our work session and University of Idaho.
Nikki and I'd like to introduce Martin Spencer. She's our Extension District Director.
Welcome.
Hi, would you like us to sit or stand?
Go ahead and sit.
Sit,
right
okay,
there.
wonderful. Well, thank you for the opportunity to just meet with you. This is short and sweet, just to thank you for the support of University of Idaho Extension in Bannock County. My role is to supervise extension in the 14 counties in eastern Idaho, and like to meet with you every couple of years just to thank you for your support. There's a lot of wonderful things happening at Extension, with lots of programs, community education in a variety of areas, including the 4-H program, which Nikki supervises. And Reed is our county chair, works with the county employees, and also does a variety of things in agriculture and natural resources. I did want to let you know that just last week, Katie Hickok, the other extension educator who worked in family and consumer sciences, resigned her position. When I made this agenda, that had not happened, and so I did not include that, but I wanted to let you know that she has resigned and ask for your support as we work to hire another extension educator.
And that educator does the family and consumer sciences, but also kind of directs the Eat Smart for southeastern Idaho.
The Eat Smart Idaho program for lower income individuals that provides nutrition education and food safety and such. So if you are supportive of us going forward, we will work on a plan to rehire that position. Do you have any questions or comments about that?
Nope.
And if you guys ever have any input on position description, you can always look at that position description and let us know if you have any, things that you'd like to look at or change.
And they're actually a U of I employee.
They are a University of Idaho employee. In fact, I'll send you the position description as it was previously. We always look when we have someone leave and see if there's any changes we need to make to that. We would also like to invite one of you to serve on the search committee when we do that. And so shall I just send that along with the email and see if one of you would be available to do that?
Yeah. I think John likes doing that.
Okay.
John likes those search committees.
Commissioner Toby was on the last search committee that we did, and the work didn't always jive with his work, but he did provide some input. So, John, are you the liaison of the commission to extension?
I don't think we don't have one.
No.
But I would
We
be
don't
the
have
liaison
one.
to the
Okay.
extension. I like the extension.
They
All
are
right.
like us.
All righty. Well, we'll send to the person that receives all of your correspondence and the position as it was, as we get it more lined out, the position as it is, and then invite one of you to serve. And then if you're able to do that just through email, I will set up all the different pieces and parts that have to go with that. So, yeah, can I answer any questions or provide any other information for you?
I just want you to know I hear nothing but positive about these guys and what they do, so
Thank you.
they're doing good work.
Very good, very good. They do really, really great work. There are occasionally some challenges that happen when we work with, particularly 4-H youth development, because of the passion that volunteers and parents and youth have for their projects. And whenever those challenges come, we work together to work them out, to follow the bylaws and the rules so that everyone gets equal treatment and needs to follow those rules. So
Well,
that's
we've been to
wonderful.
the awards ceremony and everybody
Fantastic.
seems happy. They're getting
Fantastic.
all
That's a
kinds of
great-
stuff.
That's a great
At
time
least
to
the
do
punk one's
it.
getting awards, right?
Yep.
They've already started with weigh-in of the beef, and we'll just go through all the other weigh-ins. They've been doing day camps throughout the year, heavily involved in the after-school program and lots of other things. Reed's heavy into the Master Gardener program
About
and
halfway
lots
through
of
that,
other things that are going on. So we really do appreciate your support. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you. All right,
Thank
thank
you,
you very
guys.
much.
Thank you.
If you have any questions, just call us.
We can do that.
Thank you.
Appreciate you guys. Appreciate all you guys too.
Scott, you're up.
Good morning, Commission. Scott Crowther, Event Director, Business Manager. We were approached this year by Cirque du, I don't even know. It's an equestrian circus, about running an equestrian circus up in the grandstand area. They actually won't use our grandstands, they'll just use the space, and they'll put a tent up there, and they'll run a circus for, I think, 3 days.
Like inside the track area?
Inside, so it'll be in the rodeo and the track area. We'll pull down the track to give them enough space to put their big tent up, and then they'll have another space where they put another tent up for their horses. And then they'll run a few performances a day. The contract is a full fee contract. We just don't, every contract up at the grandstands comes before you guys, so. And then he's already signed up, but they're back east and he is not able to be present for the meeting, so.
How many showings are they gonna do?
I think I said two, maybe 3 on the Saturday, but 2 on most days. So, and obviously the big issue for us is weather. But as it is with the rain and stuff, the track's already been close, like we're close to turning the whole track up there right now. So
They're doing this inside of a tent though, aren't they?
yeah, so we'll still go in and we'll groom out the area that they're going to do. We'll pull the fence between the track and the grandstands arena, and then we'll groom that area, kind of groom it together, just like a standard barrel riding depth. Then they'll come in, they'll set up their stuff, and then they'll take care of the ground maintenance after that.
I looked at their website, it looks kind of cool, so.
Yeah.
Mr. Chair, I'd move that we approve the contract as presented.
Have a motion, all in favor, say aye.
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 Thank you. That's all I have.
Mr. Williams. Hello. Introduce yourself.
Sean Williams, don't know any more you want than my name.
Just why you're here and what you want.
Okay, so I came in last fall. We know the Concentrix building or Convergence building. So I own that, bought it before COVID, went empty with COVID. And I'm just looking for a tax break where we're trying to get something off the ground there. The ZBs have been working with me as the realtors on there. They have said, the only interest that we've had is somebody like a one tenant user, but we haven't had any luck. So I sent an email that gave a business plan of breaking it out and starting some businesses in there. And so, but where I'm really the sole owner on it, it's just financially, like that side of town, trying to get, build a business over there is going to be the struggle that I'm working with. So just propose a tax break while I'm trying, while I have no income on it, and then proposed the raise the taxes on it indefinitely once I'm able to generate some income on the property.
Questions?
No. Are you currently behind on the taxes? I can't remember.
No, I'm not.
You're
No.
correct.
No.
Check that.
I'm, working hard to stay on top of that and the loan payment.
How much is the taxes amount earning? Commissioner Moser?
It was,
About $37,000.
yeah, right on 40 is what I was thinking.
Yeah.
And how's the business stuff that you were trying to set up that you talked to us about last time? How's that going?
Yeah, so last time when we talked, because I have a contract with a company called Regis. They have over 3,000 shared office spaces in the world. They're the largest shared office space. And they like Pocatello as a market. I have other people that are more pessimistic about it. But what the ZB said is to hold off on building it. I still have the contract with them to give them a chance of leasing the building first before, because the contract on that wasn't very in my favor. And so we had two companies look at, one buying it, one leasing it, but both of them fallen through. And so the other one is who I work with owns a few gyms. One's being built right now in Twin Falls, and they own one in Rexburg and Rigby called Fit One. And so we're looking at doing a gym there as well as shared office space. Haven't moved forward with any of it, just giving the ZBs time to see if they could lease it. The interesting thing is we haven't had much interest in somebody wanting to lease part of the building. Any interest has been somebody wanting the entire building. And so I have been cautious on doing anything, waiting to see if we can lease the entire building. And so, but have a plan in place, but have just been trying to be patient to see if they could find anything before building those businesses out. And so, but as it stands, I just have been working to make the payment to give them time. But the last meeting I had with them, they had said, hey, at this point we don't have anybody looking at it, so you might want to consider doing those businesses. But it'd just be both of them. I'd have to pay for the build out, and they'd be very expensive. Anyway, and my hope, because I think it's the nicest office space, I think, across the tracks. And my hope has been for someone to come in and use it as office space before we're doing it. And I think for the opportunity zone, it's been kind of what everybody suggested, what they hope to have other buildings look like. And before redoing it all, I was just hoping to see if we could have somebody use it as office space. But we haven't, had anybody on there.
What would be the overall impact of holding back on that amount of taxes?
If we're not talking this fiscal year, there wouldn't be. Next year, we would just not levy as much, or the base would go down. So that would be the only major impact next year. Because you're not asking for a break this year, it'd be next year, right?
Yeah, I just need to build, as soon as I would break ground building it out, it'd just be the expense of redoing the building, which I'm fine until I were to take on that expense.
So it would be anticipated through the budget process and the levy process, so there would be no holdbacks
Okay.
that would be necessary.
That was the concerning part, if
Yeah.
holdbacks would have to occur.
As long as this year's taxes are paid, we're fine.
Well, I've talked about the assessor's office and the treasurer's office. This isn't something that we generally do.
Correct.
And I'm not really in favor of it. I mean, you're not behind on your taxes. We can't have people come in with their own business plan. I mean, you haven't talked to the treasurer's office. You haven't made any contact. You just sent us this email with the business plan. And if every business in Pocatello did this with us, then we'd be in trouble. Jen, you want to come on up? Both of you can come up. We're talking about the property on Main. Is that why you're...
Yeah, Christy just emailed us.
Okay. And, like I say, this is something I come into your office and talk to you about. He's not behind on taxes.
Correct, the taxes are current.
It's not something that we generally do, cut people's taxes.
Right.
I think it'd be a bad direction to go to. I mean, you made an investment and it hasn't panned out. And if everybody that made an investment didn't pan out, then the rest of Bannock County ends up paying the taxes for you. I mean, one way or another, we got to have the services we're going. And that's the way I feel. Anything, John?
I agree with you. I don't see, as much as I feel for your position, it's a tough position. And I know you've had a lot of difficulty trying to get this thing leased out and so on. But, I mean, we have empty space all over the place. And so I think what Ernie says is correct. If we go down this path, I think we could be in deep trouble very fast.
Addition?
No, and again, I echo Commissioner Crowder. The house isn't on fire yet. I can see the match, but the house isn't on fire yet. So I agree. I think it's a dangerous precedent to set if we do this today. So I would move that we deny the request, Mr. Chair.
We have a motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. So we've denied that. Thank you. All right. Bonnie?
Morning. My name is Bonnie Hansen. I filed a variance for a building permit that we have for a pole barn in October of 2023. It went to the variance board in November of 2023, November 15th. I was not made aware that I was supposed to attend the meeting, and so I did not attend the meeting, and therefore they denied my variance. And so today I am asking that either my variance be approved or we are allowed to get the fee waived and be put back onto the variance board meeting, of which I will be sure to attend.
Okay. Any comments from staff?
Tristan Borkwin, Assistant Planning Director. So just for clarification, the council didn't have enough information to deliberate, so they actually just removed it from the agenda. So it wasn't a denial. They just had to remove it from the agenda.
Well, that's good
So,
clarification. Thank you.
And so at this point, it's just because it's a public hearing and there are fees associated with those public notification costs. She's here before you today to get those fees waived potentially so that we can renotice and get her on the agenda for a future council meeting date.
So she paid the fees once.
She paid the fees once, correct, and it's, all of those fees go to the neighbor notifications and the Idaho State Journal notifications that are required by Idaho Code for a public hearing. And so now that we would have to pay those costs again, that's why we're here today to get that
How much
fee
are those
waived.
costs?
$550.
And why was it removed? You said they didn't have enough information. Can you be more specific?
Yeah, so the council was looking at their site plan and they had a bunch of questions that they wanted to be able to ask the property owners. And since they weren't there, they weren't able to ask those questions. Staff tried to help walk them through the process of what they were requesting, and they just didn't feel comfortable moving forward without additional information. They're asking for, if I'm correct, a riparian area setback as well as a side yard setback. And so they had some questions on the placement of that structure and what exactly the property, where everything else was located on the property, and staff did the best we could trying to help the council move forward and move through the process, but they didn't feel comfortable moving forward
Normally, when you have a request like this, the developer would appear, or the person requesting.
Correct.
And how would they know to appear? And would she have known in this case that
Yeah,
she's supposed to be there?
so we posted on their application and let them know that way and through email typically. We do, because we had this new CityWorks system, I think it was just a communication error where we didn't do our due diligence, honestly, to get that communication.
So it's really not her fault?
Correct.
Okay, I'd be in favor of waiving the fees and putting it back on the agenda.
I just had a follow-up question to that before we go. Typically, do you have to notice all of your council meetings? Because you're doing public notices?
Public hearings, yep.
So really, having her go again without any fee doesn't necessarily change your fee to the Idaho State Journal, because you're going to do that anyway.
Correct.
Okay, so yeah, I would stand with John then.
We have a motion. All in favor, say aye.
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 Thank
All
you.
right.
I appreciate that. And then
Make your next meeting, is all I tell you.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys.
CCOG.
Morning, Commissioners. Charity Staggs, Southeast Idaho Council of Governments. Here today requesting approval to submit a BLM Good Neighbor Authority grant. We applied for this program previously and pulled it as BLM was going through some staffing changes, didn't get the notification out in time. We wouldn't hear back from them for months, and we'd lose a year. So the funder recommended that we pull the application and submit again so we can get more time. That also gave us the opportunity to increase the cost, the ask, to a more reasonable request and update the timeline.
I hear that we're one of the largest brush project counties in the state. Is that a true story?
I wouldn't be surprised if it was.
Okay.
It sounds about right.
Okay.
Questions, John?
No.
Motion?
Mr. Chair, I'd move that we approve the grant submission as requested.
Motion, all in favor, say aye.
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 Thank you very much.
Thank you. Shanda.
Good morning, Commissioners. Shanda Crystal, Chief Procurement Officer. I have a procurement update for the board today. If we want to start at the top with the Commission security cameras, I do have an allocated budget of $400,000, but I do know that you guys are in talks and discussions of moving that money according to the requests that have been made. So that is just a placeholder as far as I had to submit the agenda request. But that has been starting to get drafted, and so we anticipate that one moving forward just as soon as we'll get with Adam and get some understanding of a few more of the scope of work of the cameras that we're looking at, and we'll move that one forward. On the Event Center fireworks display, we were able to move that one up just a little bit. Scott and his team got the draft right back to me, and we were able to make a deadline for Idaho State Journal, and that was posted yesterday. And it'll post again next Wednesday, and that one is moving. We have also invited 4 different companies that we have in the past, including the provider that has helped us with the last couple of years. So that one is moving right along. In regards to that one, we are adjusting slightly because we have had great success over the last 2 years in bidding out that project. We are looking for a 3-year contract with that one. So we asked for a proposal for this year, specifically that they would respond back with the type and number of shells and things like that as normal. And then we also asked for a cost proposal for the following 2 years. That would, again, like other contracts that we have built, depend on appropriations by the board, and those contract terms would be in there according to legal's recommendations. On the next one, for the Road and Bridge magnesium chloride, that one had the piggyback off the state contract has been approved through legal and will move forward, and you should see a contract on Tuesday for a signature. The next one for the Commissioner 6th Street renovation entrance, I have received comments back from Dan and his crew in regards to that solicitation, and so I do plan on finalizing that today and having it published in the Idaho State Journal on Saturday. And then if we can jump down to the active one for Public Works, the road chips. Those questions were due yesterday at 5 p.m. I just need to review, while we do require that the questions are submitted through Bonfire, I do run through all of my emails just to make sure that nobody got their wires crossed or anything, and I haven't had time to do that yet this morning. But that will move forward. We'll gather up any questions that it might have. In talks with Road and Bridge, we are going to adjust how often the scale needs to be certified. Right now, we have it in there that it has to be certified within 60 days of their weighing and delivering the materials to us. As we looked at that, that is going to cause additional cost for the supplier, and where the state only requires that those scales be certified once a year, we're going to fall in line with the state certification, and as long as that has been certified, they can prove that, we're going to move forward and hopefully allow a few more suppliers to bid on that project. Are there any questions?
Questions? No. Thank you very much. All right, Dave. Looks like we need to go into an executive session.
Mr. Chair, I would move that we enter into executive session under Idaho Code 74-206 to discuss personnel. Section A and B.
Commissioner Crowder?
Yes.